Welcome to Big Blend Radio with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Daily Blend podcast with Nancy and Lisa, the crazy mother-daughter travel team on the Love Your Parks tour, where we travel the country full-time documenting parks and public lands, and boy, do we have a lot to get posted.
Yeah, we
do. Have a ton. It's got to be like 1,500 to 2,000 parks we've been to over the last few years.
You know, people might think we're a little bit touched in the head.
But we're happy. We're happily touched. But no, I mean, that's the thing. Getting out in nature is cool. You know, this week is National Park Week. And really, it is about going out to all parks. National Park Service does.
Good.
So many, we have National Historic Trails like the Pony Express, the California Trail, Route 66. But you also have national monuments, historical parks, battlefields, all part of the National Park Service. National Park Service has over 420 units.
I know, I love that.
And I think we've done a lot of them. We've also done a lot of national wildlife refuges, national forests, state parks, community parks. Every park matters.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say that.
And you should visit as many as you can.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we do. And then we pet sit as we travel. Thank you. Trusted House Sitters is probably the best thing we've ever found on the planet.
Wow.
Because we get to pet sit as we travel, hang out with furry creatures, scaled, feathered, all kinds. And we love animals.
Some are slimy.
Usually you get good internet. We've had some internet issues lately, but that's okay. That we all go through that. Technology, things are not perfect. But through imperfection, you find good things. Something always comes out of a negative experience.
Well, somebody figures it out and goes, it would be better if we did it this way. And then you go, oh.
Well, today we've got a big announcement, but I do want to say it is Happy Bucket List Day. And I think bucket lists are really cool. Mm-hmm. They're goals for your personal life, your business life, your happiness, your family. I think vision boards are cool. You can make your own vision board on Pinterest, you know. Cool. Everybody's not doing paper as much and everything, but you can do it digitally. I think paper's cool because I'm still one of those people who write things down.
Writing it down.
Yeah, I'm
good.
tactile.
Yeah.
I'm not a big hugger, but I am tactile. Uh-oh.
Are your thumbs longer than your...
Yeah, I do have big thumbs. But... Actually, wait. No, they're fat and stubby. Listen, anybody gets text messages from me or messages on Facebook or anywhere, any kind that has to go on the phone, please know my typos are galore and I get excited and I click send and I suck at it. So anyway, it's because of my fat thumbs. But anyway, let's get to some really cool things. We've got, this is our Big Daily Blend podcast we've been doing for a few months now. And what's so cool as we've expanded with our Big Blend magazines, from being Big Blend, oh my gosh, the journey. The journey is started in South Africa with Nancy with a magazine called Splash, which covered a region, the East Coast, Port Elizabeth, and the East Coast of South Africa. But it was a variety publication, so business, travel, a little bit of everything, but regional. And then we came back to the States and opened up The Blend magazine in San Diego County in Southern California. And we thought, it would only be North San Diego, same kind of thing. Did our market research. It did need it. And next thing you know, we expanded to being Northeast and then to Southwest. And we became the Southwest Blend. And the Southwest U.S. We were covering Arizona, Colorado, all of it. And the magazine really, really grew. In print, full color, went into newspapers, visitor bureaus, restaurants, you name it. I did the delivery, I know. We covered a lot of ground. But then Nancy said, hey, our website is getting over 1 million unique visitors a month. It's time to stop the print. And the print was getting harder and harder in regards to many
quality control
quantities we were printing.
Yeah, and quality.
And where it was going. And she pulled the plug on the print.
I did.
But it's crazy because, I mean, when we go back in our history, we were typesetting. We've done typesetting, like actual cut, paste, all of that stuff. Even in our family history research, we found typesetters and newspaper people.
My grandfather was a typesetter.
It's crazy how it happens, right?
At the Herald.
Yeah, see? It's weird.
Newspaper. How about that?
It's wild when you start going back in your family history.
I
But
didn't know
anyway,
that.
you have to progress, and I'm leading to the progression again. So off we go. We went to becoming the Big Blend and doing podcasting, which we've been doing for over 16 years. The magazine itself, the business is in this country has been it's 26 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember turning 21, 20, and we don't need to go there. But my life has doubled since we've been doing this. Let's put it that way. And
your life has doubled.
It has been doubled in experience and age and in happiness and work.
That makes
a lot
you
of work.
older than me.
a lot of work. And then we decided, let's do the Love Your Parks tour. Let's, so now we're global through podcasting and in coverage. We're digital. So we have the Big Blend radio and TV magazine, which got too big. And then we had to split it up into Vacation Station Travel magazine, way back when, History magazine. But really, everything is connected. And when we started the Big Daily Blend podcast, we started on Spotify, which did great, but it couldn't reach everyone we wanted. And now it's everywhere. And the response has been really cool. And it kind of takes us back to our roots of everything is connected. And so here's what's happening. We are expanding our magazine house of portfolio, or whatever you want to call it. We're still doing our specialized Vacation Station Travel magazine, Eat, Drink, Be Merry magazine, but they're going to become very hyper-focused. We talk about hyper-food, like, hey, this food came from this spot and this is what it is. It's going to be very, all those magazines are almost going to be like little guides. So like if we have 10 chicken recipes, you're going to get a chicken, Eat, Drink, Be Merry magazine. If we have 10 wine destinations, you're going to get a 10 wine destinations magazine. So it's whenever we get to like 10 or so of a specific topic and theme, you're going to get a specialized magazine. So it's something that's treasured, it's specialized, it's beautiful. However, Big Daily Blend podcast is now going to become Weekly Blend because it's going to have its own magazine too. So the Weekly Blend will come out digitally with the last week's podcasts and articles and recipes and puzzles and anything you missed. And then the next, next day, what's coming up for the next week, for the holidays, all that historic happenings, all the stuff we've been covering on the show. Of course, we're going to keep with our music playlist. We love our music. Music is there is no life without music.
No, you have to have music.
So we're going to keep doing this all while we're traveling. But, the internet outages that we went through recently kind of had us sitting down and going, okay, what can we keep doing when things happen? We managed through the COVID to keep doing our Love Your Parks tour. We managed to keep going and keep going and keep going. But now it's time for balance. It's time to, events are back. Travel is back. And it's important to keep you guys notified on all of that. So the best way to do it is to be current and weekly. And so that's what's going to happen. So everyone, if you go to blendradioandtv.com or our other site, nationalparktraveling.com, sign up for our newsletter. You will get the weekly the weekly magazine in your email box and the specialty ones as they come out. Which you might have seen before in the Weekly Blend, but that's okay. It's specialized.
Right.
It's all about the special. I do want to just kind of read our mission statement that we wrote over 26 years ago together, Nancy and I, in San Diego, when we started the magazine. And it's something when we think about going back to our roots, especially today's bucket list day, right? Big Blend is a company based on the belief that education is the most formidable weapon that can be waged against fear, ignorance, and prejudice. It is our belief that education starts at home and branches outward. Education leads to travel, and travel leads to understanding, acceptance, and appreciation of cultures and customs different to our own, and ultimately to world peace. Our company is further based on the principle that networking, communication, and helping others to promote and market themselves leads to financial stability, thus paving the way to better education, travel, and the spirit of giving back to the community. Like, seriously. So funny, sometimes you come full circle around.
There's nothing in there I would change.
No. So sometimes we have to reflect and go, hey, we've got to keep doing what we do, and we basically have just expanded, but it's a good balance for everybody. So we're very excited, and our first song on today's playlist, again, look in the show notes. So we're not going away. We're kicking butt forward. Is My Favorite Bridge, John Roniger. This has been kind of our tour theme song since 2012. We called him and said, hey, we need a theme song. He was on a plane. He goes, quick, tell me. I said, we need to use My Favorite Bridge as our theme song for our tour of parks. He's like, use it, take it. It's from his EP, Someone Else. John Roniger is based in New Orleans. He's on tour now in Europe with his Good for Nothing band. And he's been on our show for years, but we've never actually met. And the last time he was on the show, he's like, I don't know what happens if we meet and we don't like each other. You know?
Oh, that wouldn't happen.
We were just kidding around because it's been like years. I mean, I think at least before even pre-podcasting, like 20 years, we've been communicating.
Right.
It's amazing.
Right.
So, all right. Speaking of magazines and printed word, we're going to get to the bucket list. The bucket. Hyacinth Bouquet. The bucket lady.
The bucket lady.
There's some history of the written word. The first regular newspaper in the United States, called The Newsletter, is published in Boston, Massachusetts on this day in 1704.
Yep.
Again, a reminder, go to blendradioandtv.com and sign up for our newsletter.
And you have to have one of those white powdered wigs.
Yes.
When you read it.
Now, John Adams, President John Adams did this. He signed legislation on this day in 1800 to appropriate 5,000 US dollars to purchase such books as may be necessary for the use of Congress. This formed the United States Library of Congress. I think that's really pretty cool. I like John Adams.
I think he was trying to get congressmen to read.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So that was in 1800, but I'm going to go back a little bit. 1766, on this day, Robert Bailey Thomas was born. He is known as the father of the Farmer's Almanac.
Cool.
Now,
I love that.
I'm just going to say Benjamin Franklin dabbled in it. I think he kind of set the flame. He sparked the flame of the Farmer's Almanac.
The inspiration.
Right. And Robert Bailey Thomas, he was born April 24th on this date, 1766. And he passed away May 19th, 1846. It's got two spellings of Bailey, so that happens when you do family history research. It changes.
Yeah, well, it's British.
So there's Bailey,
American.
Bailey, and then there's Bayley. So Robert Bailey Thomas. He was an American who created and for a long time published the Old Farmer's Almanac. He was born in Grafton, Massachusetts, served for a time as a school teacher, and then a bookbinder, and then a bookseller. See once it's in your blood.
He's in the books.
Yeah, once it's in your blood, it is. In 1792, he began his almanac, which he continued to edit until his death, and which continues in print to this day. So, of course, we have to put Johnny Cash's song, Farmer's Almanac, on the playlist today, and this is from his album, Boom Chicka Boom. Which is really, that too. Well, you listen to his rhythm. He's got boom, the boom, chicka boom. He does.
Chicka boom.
All right, so I have to be careful how I pronounce this next author. Well, we're talking all about the written word, right? Mm-hmm. Which can be digitized and turned into a podcast these days. But it'll start with the written word. Anthony Trollope. Trollope.
Trollop is okay, I guess.
It's got a E
Why
at the end.
Why did they call him trollops?
He's not a trollop. He's a trollop. Trollope. He was born on this day, April 24th, 1815. Passed away 6th of December, 1882. He was an English novelist and civil servant of the Victorian era. Among his best-known works is a series of novels collectively known as the Chronicles of Barsetshire, and it revolves around the imaginary county of Barsetshire. He wrote novels on political, social, and gender issues and other topical matters. I have no clue. I'm going to have to go dig up some of his work. It'd be interesting. His literary reputation also dipped during the last years of his life, but now he has a new following starting in the mid-20th century.
Probably because he said things that were
naughty
in your face back then, and then people got a little angry.
I wonder about the gender issues. Like, where are we on that,
Oh, well, if you think back to those years, that's where women were starting to go, hey, what about us? and the men were going shut.
And maybe it was also gay, and
Well, there could be tons of issues, but mostly women trying to become full-fledged people.
We're going to have to look him up.
Have the right to vote and do things that they weren't allowed to do before.
Who knows? We're going to have to look him up, do more. Robert Penn Warren, the very first U.S. poet laureate, was born on this day in 1905.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was born on April 24th, and he passed away in 1989 on September 15th. He was a poet, a novelist, and a literary critic, and was also one of the founders of New Criticism. Ooh. Yeah. I criticize you. He was a charter member of the Fellowship of Southern Writers. He founded the literary journal called the Southern Review with Cleanthe Brooks in 1935, and he received the 1947 Pulitzer Prize for the novel For All the King's Men and the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry in 1958 and 1979. He is the only person to have won Pulitzer Prizes for both fiction and poetry.
Wow.
Amazing, right? And you think about it today, it's National Poetry Month is April. So also another song on the playlist today, look in the show notes, is The Poet by Ryan Bingham. It's called the Junkie Star album.
Cool.
The Junkie Star album. It's called The Poet, but it's on the Junkie Star album. And Ryan Bingham's amazing. You probably have seen him in the TV series Yellowstone and heard his music there, like from the song Wolves and Don't Get Me Started. He was on our show years ago.
I know.
Yeah, you know what? I'll put the link on the show notes for that. Yeah. I mean, way long ago, pre-Yellowstone, all of that. He just won a Grammy for Crazy Heart. And that's where the Junkie Star album kind of is connected to that. So anyway, National Bucket List Day. I told you we will get to that. Very excited about this day because it reminds us it's never too late to set new goals and to change the course of what we want in life.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of us, after COVID, realized a lot of things. And when you get some downtime, you get time to breathe and actually think. Sometimes we have to let the brain and heart breathe at the same time and reconnect.
Well, and then, life throws a few little curveballs your way. And you can't just stand there and get hit in the face, or you could, but then you think, okay, I don't want that experience again, so let's change it up.
Yeah.
And so you make a new pathway.
I like it.
Take a new venue.
I think I like the vision board too. Mm-hmm. Of like, hey, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do.
Right.
Put pictures of like if you want to go to Corfu or if you want to go to Crete, put pictures of it. Look at it every day. Kind of visualize. Be positive. There's enough negativity. You can't tap into that.
We don't need any
There's
more
real
negativity.
stuff that's negative, like real deals that, happen in our daily lives. And the more positivity you can put into the positivity jar, but actually keep dipping your hand in that cookie jar of positivity, the better. Because negative one, like it sucks when it happens. So you got to balance out by positivity, I think. Kind of look at that.
Just take a chill pill.
And that's what Nancy always says. Chill. She's always telling me to chill out.
Chill out.
It's the season of Taurus, and you're telling me to chill out.
I know because
you're the bull in the china shop.
I know, but bulls are chilled until you mess with them.
Yeah, well, I'm a Virgo.
Well, they are.
I'm annoying.
Then look out.
I'm annoying. I'm a Virgo. Anyway, I've got the song "Bucket" by Kenny Chesney. This is from his album Cosmic Hallelujah. Put on the playlist, and it's about going for your bucket list. Kind of gives a good direction. Instead, sometimes we do these blueprints that, like every time you do anything, you got to track it. Get a grip. Unless you, work for those big corporate things where they track my God, you stepped out of the truck. You did this. I mean, come on. We got to live a little bit looser and understand our prime goals and allow things to shift and change because that's what life does. Life is like a river.
That's why you put music on. Like if you're a delivery person, you got music in your van or truck, and then you step out. You're not doing 1, 2, 3. You're gonna jazz your way to the back. You're gonna lift that stuff.
All while they're tracking you.
Yeah, and and be happy.
Just saying. Yeah, and you're being tracked as you pull over, and then you're being tracked by when you put the package on the doorstep by the homeowner. I mean, we're all being tracked. It kind of sucks. But anyway, maybe that's on your bucket list to be untracked. I don't know.
Or
everyone's
just
got their own thing.
Track me, let me perform.
Yeah. Hey, it is Pigs in a Blanket Day. Oh. Now, you were talking about this on Sausage Day.
Well, yeah, because pigs in a blanket is sausage wrapped in something close to like a pancake.
A biscuit or a croissant dough, right. And then it's baked. Little weenies wrapped in dough and then baked. And you know what? Like in England, we used to get sausage rolls.
Right.
So I think this is almost like an American version. Yeah, and then you dip it in really good, what they would say, tomato sauce. But it's ketchup, like here. But I mean, good ketchup. There's ketchup that's good with a little spice to it that isn't out of a plastic bottle. I'm just saying I suppose everything comes out of a plastic bottle. But like really good dipping sauce.
Yes.
Pigs in a Blanket could have a really good mustard.
Mm-hmm. Or cheese.
Cut the mustard. Anyway, Pigs in a Blanket, I got a song by Holy Locust. It's from their album Fever Dream. They're pretty cool. Like I was like, oh, I found a new band today.
Sounds like a little bit of the Munchies.
I don't know, but Holy Locust, go check it out. It's also National Skipping Day. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, so there's skipping rocks, skipping stones, that you can do in the river.
Skipping rope.
Yeah, skipping rope. So this is about skipping rope. And it's really about raising physical health awareness for children with a day of healthy exercise through skipping because it's fun. So kids don't realize, hey, you need to go and do PT. So
when I was in school, they used to they would start with one person, two people holding a rope and twirling it. So the one person would skip the rope in the middle of the rope, being turned over. Then they went to doubles. So then you would have two ropes going at the same time in different directions that you're supposed to skip over.
Yeah. Is that the double dutch? Is that the double dutch that they're talking about?
Well, I don't know if you can say that anymore, but
well, that's what they're calling it. That's a thing. Okay, so it has its roots from the Dutch colonists who brought the two-rope version of rope skipping from Africa to America.
Oh,
because African kids used to do it. So and I remember that it was because it's an easy toy, right? So now they have skipping workshops. Around 250 schools with over 50,000 kids are being taught skipping. But to me, this was part of life. But yeah.
Yeah, that was our backyard.
Now we have to say, put your phone down and start skipping, kids. Anyway, it's been traced back as far as the 7th century in China.
Wow.
Chinese rope makers invented it to celebrate the New Year and called it the 100-rope jumping game.
Oh.
Also, jumping 100 threads. And so that's what they did. And then they've also traced it back to 1600 BC, where ancient Egyptians would use vines to jump rope as part of their conditioning routine. Kind of like, don't mess with me. This is part of their exercise Yep. It's also been shown in medieval paintings where children have like hoops and jump rope through cobblestone streets. And that shows, again, about the Dutch colonists. And so now in the 1930s, jump rope and double dutch became popular in black communities here, especially black girls. The line broke, the monkey got choked, and we all went to heaven in a little rowboat. Clap, clap. Yeah. My mama told me. Wasn't that a skipping song? I remember that being as a skipping song.
Yeah.
All right, so there's that. So for the music, this has got nothing to do with skipping rope, but it's called Skipping Stone, and it's just a cool song. It's by Amos Lee. He's got an amazing voice. I mean, it's just soulful as heck. Amos Lee, and this is from his album Supply and Demand. So that is I Demand you listen to it. It's in the show notes on the playlist, and the playlists are on YouTube and Spotify, so you can choose wherever you like to listen to music. If we could put it on a vinyl each time, it'd be great, but that's not happening. It's also Fashion Revolutionary Day, and I think this is important. It's really about looking at the future of fashion, who actually creates the fashion. And I think now we're looking at upcycling so that you don't just throw clothes away. Who is making our clothes? There's a lot of independence, so you don't always have to buy the big names. It's also, like I said, looking at being sustainable. Can we buy a shirt that's going to last longer than 10 washes with cheap dye that's made from slave labor in India somewhere? So no, but this is the truth. This is very important, that the fashion industry steps up And we've heard about what's happened to people in, basically these, I don't want to say slave rooms, but, it's almost like slave labor of what's happening in, what do they call them? Not sweat. Like, it's really just where people are not being paid what they should be. And they're put in little rooms and so. Can you make the money? Can you even feed your family?
Yeah, you have to do so many pieces of sewing per hour.
Yeah.
In order to get fed.
Or dyeing or cutting. And, you've got to think that
Which is not what this country was founded on at all.
Right. It's not cool. And we have an article in the show notes from employment attorney Ward Heinrichs. He'll be on our show on Wednesday. He's on every fourth Wednesday, talking about California's new Garment Workers Protection Act. So that they get paid and not be swindled, basically.
And, I wonder when companies outsource to other countries, do they monitor what's happening in those other countries? Or
I think all kinds of laws are getting broken all over. Yet, in other countries, they still want those jobs because it's better than where they were. So, but is it still humane? Is it still good? Is it just, I want to say sweat lodge, but it's not a sweat lodge. There's that sweat term labor. Of, it's just there. It's not right.
Yeah,
it's not right. So it's important to look at where your clothes are coming from and try and trace it out. Are they sustainable in the environment, and are we using the wrong kind of labor? Are people getting hurt? It's a double-edged sword with that, because what we here in America think and what another country thinks are two different things.
Absolutely.
So, but at the end of the day, people should be able to earn a living and feed their family, afford lodging, shelter, clothes, the basics, comfortably. They shouldn't we're not like in the coal mines like it was years ago where, hey, if you can even afford to rent a place,
You know what, if you think about it rationally, the idea of being good, being kind, being fair, there should be no borders.
No, boy. Oh, yeah. But that
there
human nature.
No borders.
Yeah, but that's theoretically, and human beings don't do that. Are you kidding me? No, this doesn't work. Edmund Cartwright, was born on this day. He's an inventor from 1743. He was born and he's from England. He graduated from Oxford University and went on to invent the power loom. Talk about fashion day. He invented the loom. He was also, he married a local, Elizabeth McMack, that's her name, at 19, and he was a brother of Major John Cartwright, a political reformer and radical, and George Cartwright, the explorer of Labrador. It's quite a family. Somebody got them all riled up.
It's way before Ben Cartwright and Bonanza.
Okay. Willem de Kooning, the painter, was born on this day, and we've talked about him on the show with artist Victoria Chick. He was born April 24th, 1904, passed away March 19th, 1997. He lived a long time. He was a Dutch-American abstract expressionist artist. He was born in Rotterdam and then moved to the U.S. in 1926, became a U.S. citizen in 1962, and in 1943 he famously married painter Elaine Fried, and she became Elaine de Kooning. And we talked about her with Victoria when she was doing a feature on women in art, and so during World War II, he painted in a style that became referred to as abstract expressionism or action painting. So you got to think of Jackson Pollock as kind of that same school of moving fast, painting what comes out of you and going for it. And Jackson Pollock did it, Elaine did, Lee Krasner, Franz Klein, Mark Rothko, Hans Hofmann, Nell Blaine. I mean, these are all these major artists of that time frame who really went for it. And so check it out. I got a song for the list. It's called Clouds Alive in Wild Paint from May Edwards from her album Grace. Awesome. May's been on our show for years. Yeah.
In art college, they taught us, how do you feel right now? I had one professor. How do you feel right now? Pick up the paint and throw it. I was like, dude, this is fun. And it's like you picked up the colors or color and threw it on the paper. You made a big mess, but that's how you felt right then. And then he'd go back and question you, well, what made you pick that color? What made you throw it that way? No, and then
now you need to go to the therapist's office.
Now you need therapy, or take a chill pill, whatever.
No, back to the chill pill.
Yeah,
Nancy's handing out candy.
No, but it was like, why'd you do that? What led you to choose what you just did?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So and that is what art is. Art tells about history. It tells about life in the moment, back when it was painted, or even before. Like it could be historic, it could be up and new, or you can just like, this is how I feel right this minute. You throw a pot, or no, I don't mean physically throw it at somebody.
Some people do.
I mean, you build a pot, you make pottery.
Throwing it on the
kiln.
Throwing it on the
or
thing.
you're painting, or you're sewing, or something artistic. What makes you pick the color, the pathway that you've chosen?
A lot of really good music and art has been created through that emotionally. Media capture that essence now. Photography does that. It's like capture that moment. Like in a wedding, you've got that one moment where they say I do, to capture that. And if you don't capture it, it's done.
It's like in music, there's all these chords and they all sound really good, and then all of a sudden it goes, little minor chord sneaks in. And,
I feel...
and then sets you up for the resolution at the end. We're back to the good side.
Well, I think kind of what we do too is in digital magazines and even podcasting. So like doing these podcasts, like people, we're all just having conversations and things come out, and some people get pissy about it. Some people don't. People get inspired. But it's about making you feel something, whether you like it or not. If it makes you feel something, that's a cool thing.
Well, it's a reminder.
And we can't, get everyone to feel everything. That's not. It doesn't work. Life doesn't work that way. Sometimes people send us an email. You shouldn't have said that. Well, sorry. But it's the same thing with putting out our digital magazines. Like, I am very excited what we're going through with doing the weekly blend, because we can keep you like, this is what just happened. We can keep current. There's event news. Events are back. Travel is back. It's time to be current. And then doing our specialized magazines are like art pieces to us. And that's where we want the freedom to go really curate something special for you, the audience. Like, hey, we've got 10 European destinations for you, and we want you to see them, have the great articles. You may have seen it before, but here's this nice collection. It's almost like doing book publishing in a way, of collecting these nice things and putting them together, something informative, informational, inspirational, fun. And then when it comes to recipes, we got recipes then, like it's going to be like recipe books, like little short ones, You want to make chicken? We got the fried chicken. We got the baked chicken. We got chicken on a stick. We got pigs in a blanket made out of chicken. No, I don't think so. All right. So you were talking about music too. So Shirley MacLaine was born on this day. She's an actor, an author, and a singer. She was born in Richmond, Virginia on April 24th, 1934, and a former dancer, too. She's known for portraying quirky, strong-willed, and eccentric women, and I think she is an eccentric woman.
Well, she's outspoken.
Yes. She has won so many accolades, an Academy Award, Emmy Award, 2 British Academy Film Awards, 6 Golden Globe Awards, 2 Volpe Cups, and 2 Silver Bears. She's been honored with the Gala Tribute from the Film Society of the Lincoln Center in 1995, the Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award in 1998, the AFI Life Achievement Award in 2012, the Kennedy Center Honor in 2013.
Good for her.
She's one of the last remaining stars from the golden age of Hollywood.
Yep.
And apart from acting, she's written numerous books regarding metaphysics, spirituality, and reincarnation, as well as her best-selling memoir, Out on a Limb, that came out in 1983.
Awesome.
She was, Judith Orloff. She was on our show a couple times over the years, pretty much way back when. And Shirley MacLaine was in one of her books. And they were talking about energy and energy vampires, people who suck up your time with their negative crap and get rid of it. Like, how can you keep the positive energy moving forward It's like feng shui for your house. You want free moving, open rivers. Everything flows.
Yeah.
Same thing as life. And Shirley MacLaine was in there. Talking about like, hey, man, you can have some spiritual connection. You can, ground yourself, uplift. You can do whatever you want. It's about tapping in. And today we've got a different quote up on our Big Blend Facebook community. And by the way, sign up for our newsletter, but we're also on Facebook under Big Blend Radio Mags. We're on Twitter at Big Blend Mag. We're on YouTube at Big Blend Radio. We're on Instagram at Big Blend Radio TV. We're all over those. So if you follow us on social media or just go to blendradioandtv.com for the newsletter, you'll be able to keep up with everything. But so we do a Facebook quote of the day and Twitter quote of the day. But this is one that I know we've done so many times, so I didn't do it today, but I want to share it because it is Shirley MacLaine's birthday. This is a quote from her book, Out on a Limb. Don't be afraid to go out on a limb. It's where all the fruit is. Mm-hmm. And it's really true. You've got to sometimes stretch beyond.
That's where the sun is, at the end of the limb. Mm-hmm. It's never in the middle. It's at the end.
Yep. So we also have a song of hers. She's got an album out, Live at the Palace. It was put out in 1976. And this is her song, It's Not Where You Start. And take a listen to that. It's fun. It's kind of like a cabaret act.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Today is also Joe Henderson's birthday, the jazz saxophonist, born in 1937 on April 24th. He was a jazz tenor saxophonist, and his career spanned more than 4 decades. And he played with so many leaders, band leaders, and recorded for so many labels like Blue Note, Milestone, and Verve. And be thinking about, this is kind of a positive, moving change today. It just feels good. And thinking about Shirley MacLaine and thinking about Bucket List Day, I wanted to play the song Dreamers from his Double Rainbow album from 1994. And who doesn't want to see a double rainbow?
I love the double rainbow.
Who wants the double? I want the double rainbow.
It's a double rainbow.
All right, now talk about good music. Barbra Streisand celebrating her birthday today. She was born in 1942. Check this out. With sales exceeding 150 million records worldwide, she was one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. According to the Recording Industry Association of America, she's the second highest certified female artist in the United States.
Wow.
With 68.5 million certified album units. Billboard ranked Streisand as the greatest solo artist on the Billboard 200 chart and the top adult contemporary female artist of all time.
Wow.
Her accolades include 2 Academy Awards, 10 Grammy Awards, including the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and the Grammy Legend Award, 5 Emmy Awards, 4 Peabody Awards, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and 9 Golden Globes.
She worked hard.
Dang.
Yeah.
So
good for her.
Evergreen is on the playlist. I think that's really just one of the best songs she's done. And it's from the movie A Star is Born that she recorded and filmed with Chris Christopherson.
Yes.
I have to rewatch that.
Yeah, we do.
Obviously there's one now with Lady Gaga and, No, we don't say mm-mm. You haven't even seen it.
I want to go back to the
She wants Chris Christopherson.
That's right.
Okay. Period. If Chris Christopherson is in it, Nancy's there. She doesn't care about anything else. That's the I want the Chris. So there you go on that. Kelly Clarkson, the singer and now TV host, TV talk show host, is celebrating a birthday today. It's like a Women's Day today almost, right? She was born in 1982 as Kelly Brienne. She was born in Fort Worth, Texas. I think it's cool because here we are in Lubbock. I was going to say not so far away, but like everything's far away in Texas. She's known as Kelly Clarkson. She's a singer, songwriter, author, TV personality, and many of you know her from really rising to fame, winning the very first season of American Idol. Can you believe that was back in 2002?
And look what she's done since then.
Yeah, she got her first record deal through that with RCA. She has since sold over 25 million albums and 45 million singles worldwide. She has 11 top 10 singles in the US, 9 top 10 singles in the UK, Canada, and Australia, and she became the first artist in history to top each of Billboard's pop, adult, contemporary, adult pop, country, and dance charts.
Mm-hmm.
She's also been a coach on The Voice, and she now hosts her own talk show, The Kelly Clarkson Show. I don't know if she still does it, but since 2019 she's been doing it. Yeah. Wow, she's received 3 MTV Video Music Awards, 4 American Music Awards, 2 Academy of Country Music Awards, 5 Daytime Emmy Awards, and has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Billboard has hailed Clarkson as one of pop music's greatest singers and honored her with the Powerhouse Award, while VH1 ranked her 19th on their list of the 100 greatest women in music.
Wow.
Because of You is one of her top hits, so that is on our playlist. It's from her Breakaway album in 2004. I think she's genuinely seems to be a really nice person, down home.
Oh yeah,
I
think she is very, very. She's got her feet
kind,
on the
don't
ground.
mess with her.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't.
I think when you get that big in music and you're under public scrutiny, you have to have water on your back like a duck.
She's level-headed, but she's also extremely creative.
Yeah. Now, if today's your birthday, don't we wish you a happy birthday? We do.
Absolutely.
We do.
Another candle.
It is. It is your birthday. Enjoy everything in your birth week, birth month. Just rock it. We are closing out today. We started on Friday. We said, hey, let's have a world party. Let's have a podcast pop-up party. So we did a little festival, and we've been hosting a number of podcasts throughout the weekend because it was National Book Day, or World Book Day. It was Earth Day, the start of National Parks Week. You name it.
Well, it's spring.
So I know. So it felt like, we got to do this.
Spring is sprung.
And now we have our big announcement out. And today's 2 podcasts. And then we go to normal with our Daily Blend interviews airing at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But today is 2 interviews. It is Music Monday, right? We have Liz Lenten from the band Auburn in England. They're an Americana album, a band. And we've got her. So she talks about her new EP called Favorite Mistake. It's not out until April 28th. However, we have one of her favorite songs, Prosecco-Fuelled Profiles, which... That's how we first met her. It's from her album Game of Faith, which even had its own game that went with it.
I love that.
So Prosecco-Fuelled Profiles. She was on our Champagne Sunday show, so we bonded forever over that. So that is on our playlist today, so you can hear a little of her music. And Cindy Will Prevail, the single from the album Hot and Fresh from the band Pardon the Interruption. They're based out of the Bay Area. And I had a chat with David Noble, who used to tour with Nina Hagen. So really cool. We're playing that. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for the Big Daily Blend. We will be back in a week with the Weekly Blend. And after our Vacation Station travel magazine, we are putting a big bumper issue together. Then the Weekly Blend publication will come out every week, because what is it? It's weekly. So thanks for joining us. Keep up with us again at blendradioandtv.com, and have an awesome week.